In this video, we'll use the Binance Spot DCA trading bot. I'll show you how this works and why you'd want to use it. So if you do go to trade and then trading bots on the trading bot page, you can just find it, Spot DCA right here. Now, Spot DCA is a bot that helps us specifically with a dip buying strategy where you want to buy dips and then take a profit at a certain percentage as the dip obviously moves back up to the upside. This is good in a bull market, essentially when the price is in an uptrend, right? And you want to buy dips in bull markets to try and get a decent price. And you think that because it's a bull market, the price will eventually move to the upside again, and then you can take your profits. So you can do this manually, right? You can put limit orders in and wait for them to be triggered and then put some sort of take profit in there. So you can do that. This bot just lets you automate this entire thing. So you don't have to stare at screens all day or, put the orders in manually. So let's go through how this works. I'll also put a deposit bonus link to Binance down in the description if you don't have an account on Binance yet, and some other exchanges I use. You can see all the details below. But what we want to do is put in the parameters of this bot. So essentially what we're doing is trying to buy when the price dips down from a certain level, and we can put that into the bot, right? So we take all of these buy orders at certain prices like this, right? And so that automatically buys for us. Now, as the price moves back up, we have an average price for our trades, right? So let's say we trade 5 times. The average price is going to be somewhere in the middle of these trades, of course, if we trade the same amount. And then we can say at a 5, 6, 10, 50% profit, whatever that is, then you can actually sell that. And what the bot does is it actually keeps running as well with the buys and the sell. So if you dip again, it will actually just keep buying at certain parameters down below. And then as you come up and any profit that you want to take there, you can do that. So let's see exactly how this works. Buy BTC. So the price deviation is the price deviation of each of the buys that you're going to put in here, right? So you want to make sure that this is some percentage apart that you would want. So if you want 5 buys, you can have, let's say you start at 10% dip. So 10% dip, 12, 14, 16% dip, etc., right? So that's 2% price deviations from there. Now the take profit, you can put as any amount from the average price of your trades as they enter, right? So if you buy, a dip from 10 to a 20% dip, right? You can say when the price comes back up, I actually want it to go 15%, and then you can actually sell out all of those orders and essentially lock that profit in. So the investment amount is obviously fairly self-explanatory. You have to put a base order size in, which is the initial order, right? So that's the initial buy. And then the DCA order size is the subsequent buys that you're going to put into the market at lower prices, right? So these price deviations are 2%. And we want to put in, let's say, $100 worth of each DCA. And then you can put in a max amount of DCA orders, right? So if we're putting 2% in, we can say we're going to have 5 orders, right? So we're going to buy essentially a 10% range. 2% price deviations for 5 orders. So we're going to be buying all the way down in a 10% range and then taking profit on the way up 15% from the average price that we bought in at. Now, we may not get all of these orders done, right? Because if the price comes down, it may trigger maybe 2 or 3 of our orders and then move up again. You will be taking profits there, right? So when you meet that 15% from what you've bought, you will be taking profits. Now, that's it, right? So you can put that in. And what's going to happen is it's going to put all of these limit orders in and buy at certain prices as we dip down. Now, you can also use the advanced options. So if we come down here, you can start to really, get into the weeds here. So trigger price. This is if you want the bot to start at a specific price. If you don't use this, the base order right here is going to trade immediately. And you may not want to do that, right? Because you may think, actually, the price hasn't dipped enough for me to start buying right now, but I want to put these orders in before that, right? So if you think, you know what, we've topped out a little bit, we're actually going to come and dip a little bit, maybe 10, 20% dip or something. You don't want to trade right now because it's too high. You only want to wait for that if it comes. So if you want to put that trigger price in, you can do. Current price is 97,000. So let's say if the price gets to 93,000, then I can actually start the order. If you don't put the trigger price in, it actually will trade this base order immediately for you and start from that price with the subsequent orders and the price deviations that go down from that, right? So if you don't want to trade right now, put the trigger price in at the price where you actually want the bot to start, and then the deviations will start from that price, that trigger price that you put in. Now, the price deviation and DCA order size multiplier here, this can change the amount of your size of your DCAs and the percentages at which they are traded. So for right now, what I've got is a 2% deviation. So all this is going to do is start from 93,000, that trigger price, and it's going to stay 2% down, then from that price 2% down, then from that price 2% down. But the price deviation multiplier, what I can do is multiply that percentage difference. So if I put in a price deviation multiplier of 1.2, what that's going to do is multiply the deviations by 1.2. So it's not 2%, it's 2% and then 2% times 1.2%. So the price deviation actually gets larger as you come down, right? So those price deviations actually gets larger. So the last one would be it's not 2%, it's 2% times 1.2%, and then that times 1.2%. So it's actually more, right? It's more than just the 2. And that will spread out or widen the price deviations at which you trade at. Now, I don't really see too much point in this, because what you're doing is widening out the price deviations, which makes it more difficult to get the orders done. So I think it's just maybe not using this one and just choosing a price deviation that you're comfortable with for the orders, because we just want to get a price range, right? So let's say I want to trade a dip from 10% to 20%. I want to trade that dip and hopefully get all the orders done. And so I can just use 2% price deviations over 4 or 5 orders, right? And that makes sense. So what we want to do here with DCA, order size multiplier, again, you can see my DCAs are 100. So each of those is just flat, 100, 100, 100 in. But if we go to DCA order size multiplier, I can put 1.5. And what that does is multiply the DCA. So the first one will be 100 and then 150 and so on. So you can actually scale up the DCAs as they go lower. This will have the effect of, if they get traded, reducing the average entry price of your order. Right, instead of doing the same amount for each of the, the percentage deviations, if you're trading more at lower levels, then your average price for that trade gets dragged down a little bit, which can work. But again, if you don't trade those orders, right? So if it only trades down, 12% and not 18%, maybe the orders at the bottom don't get traded at all, and that's where you put most of your cash because of the DCA multipliers, and so you may not get all of your order done. So it's a kind of two sides of one coin. Do you want to actually multiply them, or do you just want to try and get some done? I guess that's up to the individual. And the cooldown right here, 60 seconds, this just prevents you essentially trading a kind of massive dip, right? So let's say something happens and the price just goes down, 20%, right? Which can happen if you get some bad news or something. And so ultimately, if you did that, all of your orders would just go trade and you'd get filled on that. This gives you some sort of cooldown. If you maybe get a price alert that you've traded or something, you can actually have a couple of minutes or something, 90 seconds, to go in and say, actually, I don't want to trade these right now because this strategy, was good before the news. And now that the news is in, I think it will go lower. So I actually don't want to trade these. I won't wait for the price to go lower again. It's just kind of a, insurance policy to not just get traded with everything. And then the price range right here is just lower and upper bound for what you're trading. So this kind of is irrelevant, because if you're putting these orders in, then you know exactly the prices that you're trading at anyway, right? And so you don't really need that lower and upper bound right here, right? Because you know the percentages that you're trading at. So you don't really need that unless you are using multipliers that kind of drag out your orders, and you don't want to trade past a certain level, but I wouldn't put it in. Now the stop loss here is a kind of an active trading strategy, right? So you're trading certain amounts and you're going long. Essentially, you're trying to buy dips, and so you're going long as a price is falling down, which is part of the strategy of hoping the price goes up again. But what happens if it doesn't? Well, you can put a stop loss in here. So what all of this is just a typical stop loss trade. If you've traded in at 93 and then 5 orders down here, you're now in and long the asset. If you don't want to take a loss on that, if it keeps dipping and going down, you just got the trade wrong and it didn't bounce back and it went lower than you thought, you can put a stop loss order in here. So maybe for a 20% loss on your average price, if you make a 20% loss, so you buy in and the price comes down and the price, your average price, and your trade is losing 20%, the bot will sell out of that trade and get out and return the cash. Now, you would have taken a loss on that. So you would have bought in and then taken a 20% loss, and that just prevents further losses. So if it goes down 50%, obviously you're good getting out. But again, you may just want to ride that volatility. So that's up to the individual as well. But that stop loss is a trade that trades out of the asset back into the stable coin that you're trading here, and then prevents further losses But again, it's up to the individual whether you actually want to ride the volatility or not. I've opened a bot so you can see exactly how it works if you do have one running. So I just opened it with some parameters here with the trigger price at 93,000. So as you can see, nothing's actually been traded yet because the price is 97 and my bot will trigger and start at 93. So we can see the pair here, Bitcoin USDT. Direction is buy BTC, so we're going long the asset. You can also sell the asset as well. So you can actually put those limit orders above and try to sell. If you have BTC or if you have one of the assets, remember this is spot DCA, so this isn't futures trading. You can't take a short position. You actually have to own the asset first, and if you want to sell it, but you can sell rips and then buy them back. As it goes lower, right? So you can sell in stages and maybe buy back lower if you want to do that. That's the other side. This is a buy BTC bot or any crypto that you want to use this strategy for. So buy BTC, the direction is buy BTC investment. And then the total profit and DCA profit. Remember, this bot actually runs all the time with these parameters unless you stop it. So if you're buying dips, it will just go ahead and buy them. And then if the price moves up, it will take that profit. And if the price comes down, and if you have that trigger price in, it won't trade until that trigger price. If you don't have a trigger price, you're going to start buying again at different levels in order to buy at those increments down and then take profits. So you can see the total profit, the DCA profit, and the floating profit is whatever's in the bot at the current time as it's running. You can see the duration here is 1 minute and the completed rounds. If you've got this open and you put it in for a long time and it starts running this bot, this will essentially buy, sell, buy, sell. And that'll be 2 rounds. You can just see those completed rounds and it'll just go on and continue. If you want to end the bot, what happens is any buys or sells of the asset. So you've got, let's say BTC here, you're buying into BTC. Let's say you bought 2 rounds and price deviations. So that's 2, let's say 2 or 3. So you've actually got BTC here and you need to sell it. If you end the bot, the BTC or any other asset is sold out at the exact time that you sell and end the bot. And then that USDT, in this case, because we're trading the USDT pair, that USDT will be put back into your account. So I've actually got money tied up in the bot right now. I can't use for other trades. If I press end, confirm, any trades will be unwound back into USDT and that will go back into my account. Trading bots don't magically make money and there is risk here, of course, but if you want to implement that type of strategy anyway, then the bot can help. I'll leave some other helpful videos for Binance bots down in the description as well and exchange bonuses to the exchanges I use down there. I'm James, it's MoneyDG. Cheers for watching and I'll see you in the next one.